guys talking
There was a
about.
week there. I actually even made a video when CZ tweeted that something was fishy, and I was like, get your money out. And so there was like a week, and knowing how quickly you react, I feel like you would have gotten your money out.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think there's maybe a few days where people were like withdrawing super like actively. But yeah, so I got like, I guess, lucky in that sense where I avoided a lot of the pitfalls. And then in 2023 started really refining my system. And that's when I went really hard into a series of trades that were mostly on the long side, especially on Solana. So towards the end of the year, that was, I think, my biggest trade to date, money wise, was on Solana. So in terms of like dollar amounts, it went from like $30 to like 180 in a series, maybe like a few weeks. And during that time, I literally put in 8 figures marginal on that trade. Ended up walking away just around like mid 8 figures on that trade.
Wow.
And that was something that was very high conviction for me as the tides were sort of turning, with people starting to realize that the sort of tailwinds from FTX were disappearing. And at that time, there's the whole on-chain meta with Solana, and it was like Solana Summer. It was like all sorts of meme coins like Slurf, like
With
Book of Meme, like Whiff. That was all happening during that time. So ecosystem activity was at a high, and I was just really, really long on that sort of activity.
Yep.
And that was just leading into 2024. And my biggest win after that was on Hyperliquid, actually. I was very active on that exchange as soon as it came out, actually, because, like I said, I was really looking for a great decentralized perp option to trade and hadn't really found many of them. And so I trusted Hyperliquid. I did like a few $1 billion in volume within a couple months. Didn't like it that much because the volume was, or like the liquidity was not amazing at that time. Obviously, it's gotten a lot better since then. So I stopped using it to trade with size, but still was like active in the ecosystem and understanding it, and really heavily advocated for Hyperliquid as the exchange to use if you wanted an airdrop of some sort. If you're maybe like 6-7 figure range wanting to, like, get a free stimulus, I guess. And that obviously played out really well. I mean, I think I was one of the top 30 holders on the airdrop, or 30 recipients of the airdrop. So if I held it all the way, I probably would have made like close to $50-60 million on that.
Wow.
Ended up only making maybe around like 15 to 20 because I sold pretty much on the way up. But
Just dust for you, man.
that was free money. It was literally free money. And most people in the world have no idea that like maybe $2 or $3 billion on that day of free money was distributed to people. And if you tell that to any person on the street, they would not believe you. They would be completely just be like, oh, there has to be a scam. Like, there's no way you can sell. But that happened. There are people that I know personally that made 6-7 figures that actually lost everything. They literally got liquidated on Hyperliquid. They maybe, some of these people only maybe had like 20-30 grand in the exchange. They traded for a bit, got liquidated, and then they made like 500K on the airdrop for free. They didn't do anything.